Hello, everybody. My name is Bill Chase, and I would like to welcome all you wrestling, sports entertainment, little Jimmys, little Jennies, to my show. That's right. I'm going to be quickly recapping the upcoming WWE Capitol Punishment pay-per-view. That'll be tonight. It's a few hours away. I'll be watching it from the comfort of a movie theater. You can order it on pay-per-view or go to a movie theater, Cineplex theaters. Look up their website. Also, blast areas. You can find some locations on WWE.com. Restaurants, sports bars, taverns, whatever. And yeah, so this will be, this looks like a show that's really solid on paper. Now, of course, I want to just quickly say that WWE on pay-per-view, they've had a lot of problems lately. Over the Limits preliminary number just came in. It is dreadful. It's one of the near record lows of all time. I'm talking 25 years of pay-per-view here for WWE. And again, they need a shot in the arm, and I think they're making significant strides. For example, I see a lot of storyline improvement. I see them at least making an effort to try to give everybody an angle, to try to give guys like Evan Bourne a storyline. Even though his thing with Swagger, there's really no explanation as to what's going on there, but at least it's something, you know what I mean? So the effort's there. I'm seeing it now. The only complaint I really have these days is their inability to think outside the box still, and it's just happening time and time again. So let's quickly get to the card. Okay, it is tonight. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. WWE Capitol Punishment live from Washington, D.C. The main event, WWE Champion John Cena defending his title against R-Truth. R-Truth's heel turn is one of the most refreshing things on Raw. He's breathed life into himself. If you would have told me 3 months ago that R-Truth would be headlining a pay-per-view, I would have laughed in your face and said, "Are you kidding me? I will not watch that with my eyes closed, my ears plugged, and me tied to a chair. I still wouldn't watch it. Handcuffed to a chair, I would bite my freaking arm off. Who needs hands anyway to watch babyface R-Truth in a pay-per-view? I would just get away from it that much." But he's really just come to life, and this is exactly what he needs. This is exactly what the WWE needs: a character, a heel that people can, may not like, obviously, but understand. They can get what even though he's insane, they kind of comprehend where he's coming from. The understanding of the character, even if he's not making much sense, is important. When he came with the Confederate uniform a couple weeks ago, is one of the most eerie, disturbing, but yet effective things I've seen in quite some time. I believe Cena will go over here. Cena, again, he's become quickly on him, if I may. He's become a bit of a one-trick pony in the last 2-3 years, and maybe since his late 2008 return, after he was injured in the Batista match. He hasn't delivered much on pay-per-view lately. Him and The Miz, the whole thing with them was just not good match-wise. Living proof that John Morrison was carrying that match at Extreme Rules, which was a solid show. And the problem is that it's not necessarily that he's a bad wrestler. And again, I don't hate Cena. I'm just not a huge fan. But I've enjoyed watching him. He used to really bring it in big match situations, and he made the pay-per-view main events. And he gave you your money's worth. He's just not doing that anymore for some reason. And his superhuman Cena mode just... it's killing me. I had an idea for an indie show where you just take 2 no-name guys, have one guy beat the other guy for 10 minutes straight, no defensive moves or anything, just takes a beating for 10 minutes straight, and Cena's music hits and the guy just comes to life and just cleans house. Unbelievable. Anyway, also tonight, Christian will be taking on Randy Orton. Christian's heel turn has been quite refreshing too. The bitter ex-champion with a chip on his shoulder. Bob Backlund and Bret Hart both played that role very well in their careers. And here's the thing, Christian's a little different from them. He's a legend in the sense where he was famous, but not a legend like in the, in a respected sense like Bob Backlund, or an iconic sense like Bret Hart. He doesn't have that same, I guess you could say, that same appeal that they did, obviously, in their day. Because make no mistake about Backlund, as bland as he seemed, they loved him in New York. There's just no question about that. But either way, he was beloved. Christian had people rooting for him. And now he just feels, betrayed by the system. It's a simple storyline, but it works. It is so effective. And with SmackDown's declining ratings ever since Orton won the belt, you got to believe that vocal minority JR's talking about, they were the 10%ers, as Uncle Eric would call it, are making themselves heard. At least some of them are. I believe that Christian will go over tonight. And I believe that either that or they'll set up another match somehow, or it'll just be like a non-finish. It's either Christian or a non-finish or some weird screwjob finish. I don't think Orton's going to get a clean pin tonight, anyway you see it. Not so I'm thinking Sheamus might get involved somehow too. I hope Christian will get the championship again. And as I was upset too when he lost the belt, like a lot of that vocal minority. But again, after a day or so, I'm like, you know what, this is probably leading to something bigger. They can't just leave it at that. I saw the way he left the ring after that match. So you knew they were building to something. I'm liking this storyline with him and Orton. Really effective. Christian is a good heel. I love how he just turns his back on the WWE universe, and it works. It's simple, effective, and I enjoy it. Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple, stupid. Like seriously, WWE's got to do that sometimes. They also have to think outside the box, which brings me to my next match: Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. Now, CM Punk is one of the most talented heels that have come on in the last decade. He has personality. He's amusing. He's disturbing. He can do anything, really. He can be funny. He can be serious. He can be vicious. He can be maniacal. He can be scary. Anything. This guy can do it all. He's one of the most versatile heels to ever step foot in the WWE. No doubt about it in my mind. And in the last year, he's been completely wasted. You remember how good a feud him and Rey Mysterio had last year? The angle where Punk sings to his Rey's daughter? That was something. That was something to behold. And I love the way that they put it together. I love the way that, they make Rey the sympathetic babyface in that feud. But here's the problem. They're not thinking outside the box. This is just another been there, done that. Babyface wins the rubber match. I believe Rey will go over tonight, and Punk's just wherever. Where he's been the last year? Nowhere. This is why he wants to leave. He's just getting no incentive to stay. Also, I'm loving the fact that tonight the 2 mid-card titles are on the line. This needs to happen more often. IC champion Wade Barrett defending against Ezekiel Jackson. Zeke is drawing strong reactions. I think the core is just ridiculous, just Nexus light, really. But Barrett's still a great talent. Zeke kind of reminds you a bit of Ahmed Johnson, who was over like crazy in the mid-90s and was really on his way to a big push till injuries and his own self derailed his push. U.S. titles on the line. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. These two, in my opinion, have been going nowhere fast either. They're just treading water. Ziggler, to me, is just one of those heels that just has he's talented, but just not a lot of dynamic. Kofi is really energetic, but I think they just missed the boat with him several times already. I don't know. But either way, it's still good to see them putting these titles on pay-per-view, and both matches should be pretty good for what they are. I don't expect a 5-star classic from Barrett or Jackson, but just take it for what it is. And again, this show, really up and down, is something else too. When you create feuds like Miz and Alex Riley. Now, this one really caught my eye because for some reason, Alex Riley really has developed his personality by being with the Miz. This is what they need to do. Now, I'm thinking Riley's getting the Virgil push here, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. And again, I have a feeling that it may not last forever. They just won't think outside the box and do it right. They'll just be simplistic about it or whatever. I have a feeling that what they should do is Miz should go over tonight and they should sell Riley's valiant effort. Like, he went the distance. He went a long time. He should be at least 10, 15 minutes with the Miz. Go a long time. Build to, Riley loses. He tries to get a win back. Loses a tag match on Raw or something with the Miz again. Build up to a big blow off at SummerSlam where Riley says, I can beat you. Make the win special where Riley finally beats Miz. That will work. That is an angle. It's simple. I'm not saying it's going to draw millions of dollars, but it's what the WWE needs to do. And I'm really enjoying Alex Riley's work through this feud. He's really coming into his own, and I think regardless of booking mistakes or not, I think he's going to get something out of this. And I happen to like the way he, the way he really just puts it together. The Miz puts everything together in his head before he speaks in his promos. He's really done that well the past couple weeks. Even though he's looked like a fool, he still comes out just trying to, give himself something, which WWE's not really been doing much with the Miz since he's lost his belt. I think that they've really, really screwed up there somehow. I don't think he's all for naught quite yet, but he's teetering on a thin line right now. Again, there are a million problems I could go over with WWE on pay-per-view, their overall product, but that's not what this show's for. This is to preview the Capitol Punishment pay-per-view. Now, the next match, yes, the 7th match. I believe this is the only other match of the night. The Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio. First off, I'm loving the Big Show's viciousness here. It really reminds me of the way he used to be. I'm really enjoying his work in this feud. Del Rio, not so much. I believe the angle is not that good at all. It's not terrible. It's just, the whole Big Show impersonation thing was bad. That was bad. I just think this is kind of, they kind of just kind of a misguided ambition, if you will, of a feud. Like, they're really trying to be, the writers are really getting behind it, but really it just isn't panning out extremely well. Again, it's not terrible, and again, I've enjoyed the Big Show's mean streak this past week on both Raw and SmackDown. It's really, really sold the match. Big Show sold the match better in the last week than the car crash angle or the impersonation angle, or Del Rio himself has sold the match at all. I know Del Rio is penciled in for Cena at SummerSlam. No disrespect to the guy. I like him. He's a good heel. But I'm not seeing dollar signs there. And again, I'm not saying anybody else could really do much better. But at least if you can't create dollar signs, at least create some, appeal. Get people talking. You know what I mean? Get the people who are watching interested enough. Where again, speculation leads to accumulation. You just never know. You got to plan for the future. A change is going to happen on pay-per-view overnight. It's almost hasn't bottomed out, but still it seems that way compared to even a few years ago. Even though the numbers weren't even that good then, but they're today's makes them look like WrestleMania X7. It's just pretty bad. But again, I think that we should really just go full throttle with R-Truth. Maybe have Del Rio win Money in the Bank, but I'm thinking I kind of want R-Truth to win it too, though. So here's the thing: they have a lot of options right now, but I believe R-Truth should be the top one. And John Morrison, in terms of baby faces, definitely a big option. They really need to do more with CM Punk. There's just so many things they need to do a bit more of. They're not really doing it, but the strides are there. I can see the small strides they're making, and I applaud the WWE for that. Thank you for making things a little more entertaining lately. And but even though the draft, I think, kind of just threw everything out of whack, SmackDown needs more stars. That's one thing. But either way, tonight's show looks absolutely solid. So order WWE Capitol Punishment on pay-per-view. This is a show that's definitely worth watching. So yes, I say get it. And that is it for today. I am Bill Chase saying, step into the danger zone. Ooh, yeah. Dig it.